This is Things You Might Have Heard, and I am Jake Payne, and in the queue this morning, 8 news stories from yesterday that you vetted as conversational. You said we're worth chatting up. We'll explain the vetting process in a bit, and yes, we include, if you're watching the video, that guy there, Mr. Tate, is in the news. He's least as the last story, I'll tell you that one, but not so much. Well, he's last, and he is kind of least. I guess that both counts, but we'll talk about him and other really actual important news stories on the day and some things that are really kind of icky, to give you the truth. Today, of course, is Thursday, July 25th, 2024, and the 8 news stories in no particular order. We'll explain how they happen as they happen, but we want to remind you can go to our website, thisisconversationproject.com, and see how we do things and where you can find us in various forms. Plus, you can email us at your leisure, the conversation inbox at gmail.com. Let's get into the headlines for the day. Starting off with headline number 1. This is the biggest story. It ties into what's going on. The most important stories of the day are Biden, Harris, and Trump, and Vance, I guess, as well. But starting off last night with the primetime address, about 12 minutes or so, and Biden called his decision to step aside a matter of defending democracy. In the Oval Office address he had in front of the Resolute desk with the tape stuff and everything, President Joe Biden explained his decision to step aside in the 2024 presidential race, described his move as essential for the country's unity and necessary to step down in order for democracy to step up and the Democratic Party to move forward in strength for the upcoming election. Biden emphasized that it is time for new leadership and put all his endorsement behind his vice president, our vice president, Kamala Harris, as the successor. Speech also included warnings about the potential risk posed by former President Donald Trump, we've heard those before, without mentioning him by name, of course, because they're doing that, focusing on the importance of defending democracy and maintaining stability in the nation. Now, whether you are a person that leans towards the right or the left, I have folks on both ends, and trust me, I hear from both of you guys, both sides of you guys all the time. This is a big deal. The fact that, one, he stepped down after being so strong and saying, oh, I got this, and then stepped down because of this, not really it is the thought and prayers of people who love conspiracy theories, but not really where they should be going. The whole point that it happened. The whole point, the biggest issue about this is it happened so late. He basically said he was going to be transitional and will probably not run a second term. And then he decided he's running a second term. That was mostly forced by Trump running for his second term. However, the big real story behind the news of this, the speech going here, what's happening here, is that democracy and history of democracy here in the United States, the whole in jeopardy thing is something that we overplay every single election, but the demonstration of the experiment that is democracy is obviously still going on. The fact that we've been at this 250 years and we're still having foibles like this shows that there's a reason that we have to keep this thing going. It's the best thing going around. Many people look towards us and want to be more like us, even when we're not so great at it, which is there. Now, we'll talk about not so great at it in a moment, but the whole point is there's an election coming up in 100 days or so. We are almost there. We have a chance to select where we're going forward, and whether you are a person who actually supports the former President Donald Trump or the current Vice President Kamala Harris, because she's going to be on the ticket, you have to make the decision, and we have to live with it. We all have to live with it. I have another project called the What Now Project that didn't go so well in the last election. Hopefully we'll do better this time. That basically puts the screws to the feet of people who are now in power to do what they say. We'll see how they do what they say, or who gets a chance to do what they want to say in a few months. Meanwhile, not to be outspoken, not to be out-Trumped, pun intended, Trump files to block Kamala Harris from accessing Biden's war chest as Musk U-turns on $45 million pledge. Yesterday, we teased this bit about the fact that Trump wants to get Biden's money, or Trump wants to get some money back that he paid for in campaigning against Biden, and the fact that, the war chest for the Democratic Party basically stays with Kamala Harris because she's technically on the ticket. She's there. She's just on the back end going to the front end. The Trump campaign has now filed an official complaint with the FEC to prevent the vice president from getting the over $90 million in the war chest that was pledged to Joe Biden, because it was pledged to Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, not Kamala Harris and Josh Shapiro or Pete Buttigieg or Gretchen Whitmer. It was pledged to two people specifically, and one of those people ain't there no more. Along the lines of this going on, apparently Elon Musk said he was going to give $45 million to Donald Trump and is not going to. That part is not written up in the robot editing scanning of the story. So, and we'll complain about the robot editor in a future story as well. But that part is not here in the story. But apparently someone commented on that one when I put this out in the video that, hey, didn't Musk say he was going to give $45 million and pulled it back? Apparently he did. So this is fighting fire with fire. Trump's not getting the money he thought he was going to get, and it's trying to block the money that we think we're pretty sure Kamala is going to end up getting. Transitioning to an extremely sad story here. Headline reads, dad of New York City teen who drove 101 miles per hour gets probation for facilitating access to BMW in deadly crash. The father of a New York City teenager who caused a fatal accident while driving 101 miles an hour in a 30-mile-an-hour zone has been sentenced to probation. The teen was 16 at the time, lost control of the vehicle, leading to the crash that killed the 14-year-old passenger. The father's sentence includes probation for facilitating access to the car for an unlicensed teen driver, as well as mandatory parenting classes. The incident occurred on May 17, 2023, highlighting issues in parental responsibility and teenagers driving safety. The picture you see is of the young lady who lost her life, and that's the picture in the video. Now, the issue with the teen, and we've seen this before, and what we're seeing in a lot of cases, like the whole years back, where there's the influenza, whatever that thing was, teen influenza. The kid was too pampered to understand right from wrong, so he got off for killing someone in a car crash, something like that. Here's an issue where the parents rightfully got something in the issue. And while we can't bring the young woman back, and everyone's life is now essentially has issues going forward, there was a sentencing, there was an actual issue, and there are consequences for the parent giving an unlicensed teen driver access to a car, and that teen driver not having enough damn sense to not do something stupid like this, because teenagers are stupid. I said that really loud because teenagers are stupid. Remember yesterday when we talked about the NBA going back to Turner Broadcast Network and TNT because they matched the $1.8 billion a year deal, and the robot editor basically told us that it was a done deal? Well, it's a done deal, but the problem is the NBA actually rejected Warner Brothers' Discovery bid for Subly bid, and they're going with Amazon, Prime Video, and of course NBCU and Disney. So they're taking three ganders for $1.8 billion a year, a total about $76 billion overall for 11 years, to do with the WNBA and the NBA going forward. This includes the finals of the big games, and of course, we're probably getting back that jingle from NBA and NBC back from the NBC days, back in the heydays of NBAs on TVs. What happened? Well, TNT said they actually matched the offer and they were all good with it. And then the NBA said, nope, no, they didn't. We will probably find out in some documentary about 10 years from now exactly what happened, what's going on, as people actually can say things. But essentially, TNT thought they had saved the show, thought they had given Chuck another lifeline and more things to do for a couple of years. But apparently this will be the final year for the NBA on the Turner Networks and TNT, and we'll see what happens. The biggest thing about this is actually the synergy that the Turner Networks has with the CBS Universal or CBS, whatever they call Discovery. Are they Discovery? CBS, Paramount, blah, 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 and the Turner Networks that were able to do the great job in broadcasting all of the college basketball championships for the men and bring in the NBA teams, to the talking teams, to talk about the stories throughout the tournaments. That synergy and showing all the games at all the times without having to break away for things has been amazing. Of course, technology and time made that happen. Without the link to TNT and the boys on the stage there, will this go on past next year in the NCAA men's tournament? Women's tournament covered by ESPN and their network, so they have plenty of networks to do it as well. We shall see. Let's move on to the next headline we have. And this is good news. Synergy, dogs and cats falling in love with each other, living together in harmony. The Defiance Act passes in the Senate, potentially allowing deepfake victims to sue over non-consensual images. Good thing done by Congress. The U.S. Senate has unanimously passed the Defiance Act, a significant piece of legislation that allows victims of non-consensual intimate deepfake images to sue those who create them, share them, or receive such content. The bill specifically addresses the growing issue of deepfake technology being used for image-based sexual abuse. The act aims to provide legal recourse for victims who previously had limited options under existing laws. The legislation was actually sponsored by Senator Dick Durbin, but had basically everybody's consent because they all passed it. All the senators that showed up that day got it done. It seeks to close the gap in current laws that fail to protect individuals from the malicious use of deepfake technology. The bill has garnered broad bipartisan support and is seen as a citation and critical step in combating digital sexual exploitation. Thank you, boys and girls, for getting something right and getting something done. Of course, the House has to do something about it too, so we'll see what happens there. This next headline is a bit of a shocker, a bit of a graphic, and you may not like it. So next 2 minutes, sing Kumbaya to yourself. Headline: Turkey plans to regulate a large stray dog population, raising some fears about mass killings. Turkey is planning to regulate its large stray dog population through a new bill that has become law, and people are worried. The proposal aims to manage the millions of stray dogs in the country, but the bill has raised concerns about how this is going to happen through animal rights advocates who fear it just leads to mass killing of animals. They're just going to basically find them and euthanize them on the spot, for lack of a better term. Specifics of the regulation and its implications of the stray dog population still being debated. So they passed the law, but they hadn't quite passed what the law will actually do, and you kind of have an idea where this is going to go. Animal rights groups are pushing to humane solutions for the humans to be humane about this, rather than just culling the herd of all dogs who just don't happen to have owners. With the population of millions of stray dogs in the country, and a country the size of Turkey, which is a good chunk of size, but millions of dogs, it's a lot of dogs roaming the land. We'll see how this one plays out, and we'll definitely keep you updated. And if you want to continue to talk about this one, just keep engaging in stories like this one. Oh, this next one, nightmare fuel for us all. Headline reads: Officials battle highly aggressive red imported fire ant infestation in Southern California. This is a story I've seen in various patches along the lines. Essentially, San Diego is getting eaten up, pun intended, by these fire ants. But this is the first one I saw today. First time I've seen them giving a larger spread of the article, or yesterday, I should say. You guys engaged in it. We're talking about it right now, and you are pretty freaked out about these things. The officials in the U.S. are investigating how intensely the efforts to combat the invasive imported fire ant, RIFA, yes, there's an acronym for that, known for its aggressive behavior and painful stings are. These ants are native to South America, pose significant threats to public health, agriculture, and environment. That's a period there, and in the capital letter for the next sentence. Measures include expanding quarantine areas and utilizing various control methods such as insecticides to manage and reduce the population. The efforts aim to prevent the spread of these ants, which are known to attack anything that disturbs their nest or food sources. Basically, you get close to it, you touch something they're at, they'll go after you. They don't just wander around in circles not being bothered. They are extremely aggressive. They are on the attack. Their stings are extremely painful and in some cases deadly. We want to know how they're working this as well. That's something we want to know as well. And finally, last and probably least, at least in our hearts and minds, it is Andrew Tate. Andrew Tate's defamation lawsuit against human trafficking accuser can proceed, judge says. Andrew Tate's defamation lawsuit against a Florida woman who accused him of human trafficking and imprisoning her has been allowed to proceed. The controversial social media personality claims the woman's allegations are false and have significantly harmed his reputation and financial standing. Judge's decision to let the case continue comes as Tate faces ongoing legal challenges related to human trafficking accusations. So, despite the poor read there, here's the deal. Andrew Tate is not getting off anything he's being charged of right now yet. All the accusations against him on human trafficking are essentially there, but this particular suit against one woman who claimed to have been trafficked by Andrew Tate gets to go on. So Tate gets to defend himself against this here woman in this here case. And this here case and this here woman may help him legally going forward with everything else. However, he still has everything else. His financials are going to be terrible because he's still being facing the accusations from other people and what's going on. This is a person I don't know. I don't care for the internet. I think he's a bum. I think he's a troll. I think he's a harmful person. And you can send your hate to me right now because that happens. People who love the Andrew Tates and love the blue pill, red pills, and love the fact that he's a real man and he's fighting for stuff probably don't pay taxes or probably don't, engage in public discourse or go to any sort of, council meeting and talk about, roads and schools and things like that. It's just leftovers from the time past where it was all about, pickup line stuff, because essentially he is a pickup guy who told people, oh, he picks up women and gets them to do porn stuff for him, makes money. This is where we're at these days. Where we're at for our teaser story today is an interesting story. We're going to piggyback off CrowdStrike and talk about what they're going to do to fix things. One, they say today things will be fixed, and we didn't talk about Delta specifically, but Delta is saying that by today all their computers and stuff should be fine. But CrowdStrike has a great plan to get you back on your feet. $10 gift card from Uber Eats. I'm pausing for effect here. It's a $10 gift card from Uber Eats to partners to apologize for the global IT outage. I'm going to take a sip of coffee for effect. I'm going to clear my throat and move on. Now, this is a story that we could talk about in tomorrow's edition if you deem it worthy. And you deemed it worthy by going to our feeds on Facebook and Twitter. X if you're nasty. X.com/th_conversation. And Facebook.com/this is conversation project. Now, every 50 minutes we post, or so, we miss some here or there, but we post news articles from various sources, various news stories for you to engage in, and your engagement gives us the stories. Now, yesterday's tease story was J.D. Vance talking about the childless cat ladies, which we did not do today, and mostly because of some of a glitch in the matrix, basically. But this was a story that story actually was in the range to chat up, and we chose Fire Ants and Andrew Tate over these two, and the dog story, because they seem like they're there. You'll see plenty of Kamala Harris going on forward. Basically, we did the Biden story and the Trump story, so the Vance-Kamala story seemed like way too much Biden-Trump this morning, so that's what happened there. But it was one that qualified. We just chose not to do that one. So sometimes you make a top 15 story and we choose not to. We usually explain it. So if this is a story you want to talk about tomorrow, CrowdStrike giving it up, $10 gift cards to get some grub, or the fact that people you can get work done for 3 or 4 days. Engage in the story by clicking the emoji face you'd like to. Like it, love it, hate it, share it. The more engagement the story gets throughout the day, the better chance we have of talking about it in the next iteration. Like I said, top 15 stories of a day get considerations. We pulled 8. Hopefully you enjoyed them. If you didn't, let us know. If you did, let us know. If you don't think you're getting the right stories, engage in other ones. And if I see really big numbers on J.D. Vance and cat ladies, then I cannot deny J.D. Vance calling Kamala Harris a cat lady. Well, I didn't deny it, but we didn't talk about it in the news today specifically. Our spotlight sponsor for today is Zenni Optical. We're going to make this real quick because it's pretty simple. How many times can I say, get your new glasses for the cheapest you can? And they're not cheap glasses. They're great glasses. They're wonderful specs. They're great frames. They're great lenses, and they take good care of you with customer service. You don't have to pay $100 to send 5 back. Pay $10, $15, $20 and buy 3 or 4. It's that simple. You have all the technologies in the lenses you're looking for. You have all the great looking frames you're looking for, and they cover the gambit of what you want, what you need. It's that simple. Zenni Optical is one of the better options. I'll say better because, I don't know all of them. Better options out there to take care of your eyewear, and the best option for me and my family, because that's what we've been using for years. Check them out using our affiliate link at thisistheconversationproject.com/Zenni. This is theconversationproject.com/ZENNI for Zenni Optical. They will take good care of your eyes and take care of us as we get a small commission for you using this link. So check them out today and get your eyes checked and get your glasses bought from Zenni Optical. A little time spent with the Conversation Project. That's us. Our website, this is theconversationproject.com, is their home for this thing here and all the stuff we do. All the stuff we do include this video, audio, this newscast you have right here, plus other considerations, including hot takes and smaller iterations on TikTok, on YouTube, in YouTube Shorts, on Twitter, on X, on all the places, and other conversational things we're doing as well. We want you to be a part of the show because we ask you to engage in the stories, give us the stories to talk about. We want you to do that. We want you to engage with us in conversation and comments because that makes things work out. We want you to be a part of the action by becoming a partner and literally helping us work things out. Check that out at our website, the partnerships page, also sponsored page, and links to all the things we do at the Conversation Project. It's that simple. We could use some help. We can always use some help. We can always use some help, and your help is greatly appreciated going forward. And now, help me to move on to our next section, which is the fun stuff, things we call things you might ought to know. And today, for this Thursday, July 25th, 2024, we have great things you might ought to know. You probably liked hearing this. Some birthdays for today, some history lessons, a great thing to celebrate on the day. Let's start off with that beautiful lady right there. Her name is Iman. She is the widow of David Bowie. And unlike the union that is Gisele Bündchen and Tom Brady, where Brady is the GOAT in the sport, but Gisele actually wears pants in the family, the actual union of Iman and David Bowie was more not just iconic, but a true teamwork of what's going on, what's going to happen. We are saddened by the loss of Bowie, but Iman, is basically celebrating David Bowie's legacy and just being a beautiful model at 69 years old on her own. So give it up for Iman on this day, highlighting our birthdays. Also birthdays today for actress Illeana Douglas and Matt LeBlanc, who are 59 and 57, respectively. Let's move on to some history stuff. On July 25th, going back, all the way back to 1980. Yeah, that's how far we're going back. The Australian hard rock band AC/DC released the album Back in Black. Now, this is an iconic album. It basically is a album that even 50 years later is still influential, still iconic, still doing its thing. But we've only had AC/DC and this album to kick around since 1980 specifically. It seems like forever. Some of the classic rock stuff is really, really classic going forward. But Back in Black, released on this day, 1980. Happening in 2021, the U.S. men's basketball team saw its 25-game Olympic winning streak end when they lost 83-76 to France in the first round match in Tokyo. Yeah, we lose sometimes. Sometimes we lose. The reason why the Dream Team was built because we lost for the first time ever, and so we rebuilt the team, and then we lost again and had to kind of refocus what's going on. The good news is that means everyone else is getting better, which means all these folks coming in from France are primetime players from the get-go. Giannis from Greece, he is MVP material. The next head of the league, next face of the league will probably be someone who's not of us, that's U.S., but we will see what's going over. It's no longer just Tony Parkers and Kukocs who are sort of sideline players, and maybe a Tim Duncan who's technically American, although he's like from the Caribbean. This is real deals for real deals athletes from around the world. But I digress. Let's go to 2022, where the sadness happened as Klondike announced the discontinuation of the Choco Taco. Rest in peace. Great treat. Let's move on to our word of the day, the learn something for the day. And this, I tell you, is my favorite word ever. It is. I tell you that wrath is one of my favorite words. This automatopoeia is my favorite word. Automatopoeia. And how I've been able to say this word all my life with my speech impediments, I don't know, but probably because the word means the formation of a word as cuckoo, meow, honk, or boom by imitation of a sound made by or associated with the reference. A cuckoo clock says a cuckoo, or cuckoo clock says cuckoo. A cat meows. Honks honks, things honk, horns honk, I guess donkeys honk. And boom, what you hear from an explosion, the boom is there. A word you use that sounds like the word. A word that sounds like the word. In use in sentence. In comic books, automatopoeia is frequently used to illustrate sounds such as the words zap, pow, and bang, vividly depicting the action. So double use in words for automatopoeia. This is literally my favorite word ever. Can't claim this to be my favorite affirmation ever, but it's a good one. I am at peace with my past and looking forward to the future. This is something that, ironically enough, it just sort of happened. We planned these out ahead of time just based on scheduling. But this is something that I needed to read this morning because I'm having a big struggle with stuff in my past and looking toward the future personally today. This one is reading straight to me. Why is this a good affirmation for me and for you? It reduces negative feelings. This affirmation helps to mitigate the negative feelings that are related to past experiences and allow you to approach the future with a clear, positive mindset. So if you're feeling kind of bad about something that happened in the past and you want to try to focus on the good that's possible in the future, I am at peace with my past and looking forward to the future. Try that one on today and try many more of them by going to Amazon, searching 100 Affirmations Pain, or click the link in this actual video or audio, wherever you're getting this, and get the book, 100 Daily Affirmations for Positivity and Confidence. Celebrate good times. Let's come on. It's time for Chili Dog Day. On this day, on this last Thursday in July, hot dog lovers across the United States start topping their hot dogs with delicious chili to celebrate National Chili Dog Day. Wrapping up National Hot Dog Month, the chili dog brings the heat. There you go. Add onions, cheese, or chili sauce for more variety. Chili sauce is chili, but you get that. With a hot dog, the condiments are endless. Also known as a coney dog or the chili con carne, because it's chili con carne. The first person to make a chili dog probably tried it around the turn of the 20th century. We don't know who he is, but that guy is a hero. Even it was likely just meat and tomato sauce, something simple, not the full-on firehouse chili dog of today. So somebody early in the 20th century, technically last century, threw some meat on a hot dog and said, voila, I have created Je connais dog. Other things to celebrate, a lot of things on today, actually. Hire a veteran day. You can hire a veteran any day you want to, but today is a day that they spotlight looking for veterans in new roles and careers. Me as a veteran, you got something for me, we'll have a conversation. Also, Hot Fudge Sunday Day, Wine and Cheese Day, 2 other days to consume on the day. And of course, the 25th of July means it is 5 months until Christmas. 5 months until Christmas. Oh, by the way, it's 5 months until Christmas. That's all we have for today's editions of Things You Might Not Have Heard and Things You Might Ought to Know, although you might ought to know that it's 5 months until Christmas, just in case you didn't know that. Thank you so much for being a part of what we have going on here. Follow us on our feeds. Consider being a partner and just have a good day. Be a good person. Do what you can on those levels. Email us at theconversationinbox@gmail.com. And, of course, as we said, consider being a partner and helping us get things done along here. Life is great, even when your life doesn't seem so great. So make sure you remember that mantra. And, of course, have a great day. Love you. Mean it. Have a great Thursday.